All right, everybody, hello, and welcome to another episode of Lawful and Orderly Special Visions Unit. I'm Marty, and before we begin, we have to do the damn prologue. So here it is. Welcome to Lan Arcanym, the city of magic. Built around the Everspire, the city shimmers with arcane energy, but that kind of power brings trouble. Trouble that sometimes seems to spawn from thin air. And no one knows trouble better than the High Guard. LAHG is comprised of several divisions, but of particular interest is the Special Visions Unit. The SVU deals with the strangest and most convoluted cases in Lan Arcanym. This is one such case.
Bum-ba-dum-bum-bum.
Ba-ba-bum.
Right on, everybody. Yes, hello, welcome back for the first episode of Season 2 of Lawful and Orderly Special Visions Unit. Lawful and Orderly is a lighthearted police procedural, if you can believe that, set in the fantasy city of Lan Arcanym. We use D&D 5th edition rules to sort of give our adventures some structure, but you'll find that we relax them a bit along the way, usually to move the mystery along, but also because we're rocking these awesome level 1 characters in a world full of mystery and mayhem. And how sad would it be to have us die every episode? Before we begin, let's meet our players. And this is the point where I check in on the stream to see where everyone is relative to me. In the upper right corner, we have Scott Brown as Illyn Brownfeet, a halfling park ranger, and Illyn's ever-loyal companion, Bark, and fellow High Guard officer, the lovely canine fan favorite. Scott, thanks to an injection of funding from the interim mayor, the High Guard HQ has been rebuilt in a matter of weeks.
Ooh.
And it has actually been operational for about a week now. However, Illyn can tell it's kind of a rush job and some details were missed. What are Illyn or Bark finding the most confusing about the new HQ so far?
I would say that Illyn was a little bit surprised by how many load-bearing posters there were on the top floor. That it used to be sort of stonework and buttresses, and now they're small, like basically post-its stuck onto the wall that say "Caution: Load-bearing post-it, do not remove." And Illyn once tried to, and the wall started shaking, so she kind of pasted it back.
Yeah, that sounds like shoddy construction work.
It's very concerning.
Well, and let's see. So moving on to my above in the upper left-hand corner, you'll find Andrew Young playing Mikhail Pavlovitskyevich, a rock gnome warlock and returning High Guard detective. Andrew, how are you?
I'm doing well, Marty, and how are you?
Oh, I'm doing great. Thank you for asking. Now, excellent. Andrew, Mikhail has been away on leave investigating a personal mystery that happened when the HQ burnt down and through the subsequent reconstruction. But now he's back on duty and back at work. So can you give us a sense, like, what has changed? What has he told his fellow officers about his time away, and has he made progress on the mystery of the statue that looks just like him?
Yeah, so Mikhail has been very busy over the last couple of weeks. He was he was deep undercover. He wasn't obviously operating officially under the High Guard, but he was for most of the time undercover, and so was didn't really even hear the news about the High Guard station burning down until sort of right before his leave was up. So it was a big surprise. When he got back, unfortunately, the news he has is not super great. He's got a lead, but they're out of town. Possibly they're wise to him, but as far as he can tell, they're not out of town permanently. So right now he's sort of he's out of leave at the moment anyway. So right now he's sort of waiting to build up those vacation days again and looking out for his lead to return to Lan Arcanym. The thing that's been most troubling is that the records and things that were recovered from the old building and the new records that have been accumulated are just piled on a series of 3 rickety tables in a back room. It's unpainted walls.
They're piled enough to support the ceiling because the ceiling was drooping, and so they thought the old records would support as a load bearing option. Right.
So every time Mikhail wants to examine a record, he has to do a sort of Indiana Jones where he takes one out and replaces it with a different thing. So somewhere floating around in the records is a very thin magazine about Manar the Half-Nosed Wizard, who is Mikhail is a big fan of.
Right.
Actually, almost president of the Manar Half-Nosed fan club, but not.
Yeah, not quite enough time spent there. You gotta glad hand a little more.
Yeah.
All right. And joining us here in the bottom right-hand corner, so to my left is my right. So to my left, if I do this, is Clara Jegede. Clara, hello.
Hello.
Welcome. You've played with us before, but this is your first time as an official Lan Arcanym High Guard officer.
Yes.
Clara will be playing. Lost my notes. We'll be playing Alo Seda, a half-orc rogue who has just joined the force. Although she's not new to law enforcement, she is a rookie with the LAHG. Clara, with Alo being new to Lan Arcanym and the investigative team here, what place in the neighborhood has quickly become her favorite hangout after work?
Well, she definitely likes to go to the bar and drink alone. It has her favorite drink, mead, and that's what she likes to do so far. And she's just sitting back and trying to scope the place out. She's new to the city.
Nice. So getting her meat on and people watching, but not making friends.
Not really.
All right. Well, hey, you know what? Normally we like to start the show with an ad, but this time let's start with a public service announcement brought to you from the news network of Lan Arcanym's Nowsayers Guild. And now to the weather. People all around Lan Arcanym have been sending in reports of terrifying silent lightning coming from the clouds above the city, which obscure the infinite height of the magnificent Everspire. Well, worry not, citizens. Our predictions, confirmed by a messenger from the mayor's office, is that the promised dry days will hold and rain will not be allowed in the city until after the big basket orb game tomorrow. So, what are these mysterious lights in the sky? Sources within the mayor's office say not to worry. They are merely the fascinating result of a flare-up of magical attacks high up in the Everspire. That's right, a bit of office politicking between high-powered wizards and the magistration, may they be praised. This correspondent thinks citizens have nothing to worry about. Pack a picnic and get out to enjoy the show. Just be sure to set up your picnic outside of the Everspire's designated debris zone. With that, I'm Skip Skyseeker, Nowsayer 5, and that's tonight's news. And we see a well-dressed halfling step down off of a large podium that has nicely emblazoned on it the words Nowsayer 5, and he starts to pack it up. And as he's doing that, actually, Clara, Alo Seda is walking through the square on her way into the Lan Arcanym HQ, passing by Skip Skyseeker, who is one of the many news callers out and about in the city. And as the rookie, you are probably against your will, carrying several sacks of food, which are the dinner orders for the other officers that are on duty tonight, including the chief.
Yeah. And
you find yourself passing by Skip and heading into the HQ.
Okay, so it's not my first day, but I'm getting the lunch orders. So open the door, I say, okay, Illyn, and everyone else, I got your orders today. You got some weird orders. You got some weird lunches.
Look, it's not that weird. I just wanted 10 links of sausage, and Mark also just wanted 10 links of sausage.
Did you make sure to go to the good? Did you go to the good borscht stand? Because there are a lot of borscht stands, and there's the one downtown with the red roof. This is the best one. They always have the best borscht. Did you go to that one? Not the blue one.
I just went to the closest one.
Oh man. Well, that is all right. I've had worse.
Oh, think the dog wants one.
I believe Bart would like one of these multitude of sausage links.
Okay, so here you go, buddy.
All right, and while you're all unpacking and beginning to enjoy your food from down the hall, you suddenly hear, "Detectives, get in here!" And the chief is
Yes, Chief.
booming voice calling you into her office.
All right, come on, Rook. It's time to meet the chief.
Okay, let's see.
All right, so you come into the office of the chief, and she's in a little bit of a rare form today. Normally, she likes to walk around as sort of an imposing centaur figure, which is both suitably horrifying to the people that report to her, but also, a good way to get around the office and get things done. She seems to be stretched pretty thin right now. She's actually in the form of a tentacled sea creature that is rapidly grabbing and shuffling and moving papers around on her desk. And she clearly is not having time for much of you. Says, "Oh, good. Officers, you're here. What? Officer Seda, is that the bag of fish that I asked for? Just go ahead and plop that right here on the desk."
Here you go, Chief.
All right, so you dump out a pile of half-cut fish. It clearly seems to be like fish refuse. You didn't buy the nice stuff because she didn't give you enough money for it. And she doesn't seem to mind. She actually just settles right on top of it, and you kind of see her body moving.
Do you guys think she gets indigestion when she changes form? I would.
This is, I think, the reason that we have the cafeteria and why eating at our desks was discouraged. I think maybe we should talk to HR about prohibiting it.
That would explain all the tiny rat bones we find around her office, though.
And the suction marks all over the desktop.
So yeah, you're having this conversation. She's kind of glaring at you, definitely hearing what you're saying. And finally, with a final gulp, she sits back and leaps back from the desk onto the edge of her chair. There's no sign whatsoever that the fish were ever there. They're just gone. And she says, "I'm losing my mind with all this new paperwork. We got the new space. Everything is a mess. We got all these new recruits. Seda, I know you're new here. You're just going to have to lean back on your training because we haven't had time to prep you. We got a case coming in, folks." And she waggles a tentacle back behind you towards the corner of the room where you didn't see that a tall, balding man who you now know as Archibald the Seer was waiting patiently to be called on. And the chief says, you want to show him?" He says, "Yes, I'm afraid this one's a bit of a doozy.
Hi, Archie.
I don't know."
It's good to see you.
"Hello, Illyn. I really
you.
wish you would call me by my full name since you spent so long not calling me by any name."
Yeah, that's why you get a nickname, right, Archie?
"Okay, I hate you all." And
that is strong language.
And offers out the crystal ball, and the chief says to all you, "All right, hands in, everybody. Officer Seda, I know you haven't been really briefed on this, but every case we get a vision, and we don't know whether it's going to be helpful or not, but we know somebody's died or dying or gonna die, and we got to stop it. So if you just get your hand in here, we'll
you got to put your hand really close onto the orb so that everyone can see it.
So I just touch this thing?
Yeah, right up here.
Yeah, that's right.
Right up here, so we can all... Perfect.
Yes, please.
There we go. Perfect, just like that.
Thank you. Here we go. And the seer's eyes roll back in his head, and you all feel yourselves drawn from your body into the dark void, and a sort of sense of traveling through space. And as light comes up around you and the darkness fades, you find yourself floating over a set of colorful tents and stalls at what looks like a market. You can tell from the quality of the light that it's dusk, but you don't actually see the sun going down. And the stalls are in shadow because it looks like you're actually in the shadow of the Everspire, so you wouldn't be able to see the sun anyway. You can see below you as you move across the area that a few shopkeepers are packing up, and it looks like their trading is done for the day. Would you feel yourself drawn across the market towards the back of the lot, where there's a sturdy but very weathered-looking one-story building with a somewhat like moss-covered sign on the outside that says main office. And you feel yourself pulled in through the front door into what feels like a sudden commotion. It was very quiet outside, but in here there's a crowd of people all crowded around a desk with a large human male seated behind it. And the desk looks very nice compared to what you've seen so far. It's got this like really out of place marble top with like gold inlay. And the man is dressed in very expensive clothing, and he's twirling in his hands what looks like a golden letter opener. And the folks around him are shouting like, "It's the third time this week! I can't afford to lose my stocks. Just pay for the damn shielding!" The man he slowly puts down the letter opener and stands up to his full height and raises his hands like, "Okay," and everybody quiets down. And he says, Now, I know that some of you have been inconvenienced by the recent excitement happening in the tower, and I'm sympathetic, believe me. I would be happy to have Ichabod here extend the protective barrier to cover all of your stalls and tents, but I simply cannot in good conscience absorb the entire fee. And he gestures over to, you see a nervous human wizard, kind of a thin man who tries to look calm, but is like adjusting his robes nervously and eyeing the crowd. And the room like suddenly erupts in noise. They're not having this. So you hear like, "We already can't afford your so-called upkeep fees. You're bleeding us dry. You're going to get us all killed." And he doesn't look impressed by this. But suddenly there's a shout from outside that kind of gets everyone's attention. And your vision turns out the window where you see people running and bits of flaming debris are starting to hit the ground. And the crowd inside sort of gasps, and they all start crowding out of the office. And the large man stands up and looks over at Ichabod wide-eyed, and Ichabod gives him the same kind of look back, but nods, and leaves with the crowd as they're all sort of pushing their way out. And the large man looks around and kind of in disbelief, like pulls a drawer out of his desk and begins like sweeping all the valuables on top of the desk into it. And as he's doing this, like there are sort of cracks forming in the wall. There's a lot of noises and crashing from outside. And finally, he hears a very large boom and kind of gets the idea that maybe he shouldn't be there, and leaps over his desk with his stuff and starts to sprint to the door. But just before he reaches the door, he suddenly stops and bounces back as though he's hit a wall. And he drops the drawer and like all of his valuables scatter. And as he regains his composure, he grabs his nose and it's bleeding. It's like as though he's run head first into a wall. And around him, the room is actually starting to collapse. Flame is starting to lick up around the windows. And he starts for the door again and realizes that there's something in his way. And sort of in a panic, he's pressing against it. He says, What? You damn fool, wizard! And as he's shouting this, the ceiling begins to collapse and crushes the room in burning wood and stone and rubble. And with that, the vision goes dark. And you find yourself back in your body. You're back in the chief's office, and the chief brings her tentacle away from the vision stone and says, geez, Archie, you weren't kidding about that. Oh, God, not you too. Just call me Archibald, please. And
so it's a real shame we don't have Aaron today. If it was some sort of pantomime-related disaster, he was pretending to be stuck behind some sort of wall.
I do not believe that this victim was had the mime training. I think it was perhaps a magical invisible
so like a spell that made him think he was a mime.
Nothing is outside the realm of possibility, but when you hear hoof steps. Horse, not a zebra, and all that.
So Archie, how many mime spellcasters does the city have?
No, wait, no. I do not think this is the productive line of questioning.
Oh, God. May I please be dismissed?
Thank you very much for your time, Archibald.
The chief waves two different tentacles, says, yeah, Archibald, you can
see
go.
Ya, Arch.
And he sort of like mysteriously glides out of the room. No apparent steps.
Would love to know how he does that. It's very impressive. This man knows how to make an exit.
And the chief like leans, puts some tentacles down on the desk and leans forward. Says, "Listen, detectives, that's the Shadow Market downtown. I shop there all the time. If something is happening or happened or is going to happen, you got to get to the bottom of it. That man was Hobarth Hogbottom. He owns that market and several others around town. He's a real jerk, but if he's not here to run these places, well, the economy could be in trouble. So get out there and see what you got.
Got it, Chief.
Very good, Chief.
Okay.
Yeah, dismissed.
You got to do this elo. You may not have the elo. They might have introduced it, but it's like this, and then perfect.
Yep.
Excellent. Good form.
Okay. At my previous job, we would always question the people who had financial means. It was always about money and that. It might be the same way here.
Wonder
Really?
who pays the mimes in this town? That'd be a really good question. We should start in the arts district.
Well, I think maybe if we start at the Shadow Market and follow the trail, if it leads us to the arts district,
The Trail of Mimes.
all the better.
That's
If we
going to
find
be...
it-
Okay.
I'll tell you what, Illyn, if we find the Trail of
think we
Mimes,
should go
I
to the
definitely think we
banker.
should follow that.
We should go to the bankers and the alchemists and the goldsmiths.
Yeah, the ones in the Shadow Market?
Yeah.
Or just in general?
In
bankers?
general. Just hit as
I'll tell you
many
what.
people as possible.
These are both good plans, and we're going to call them Plan B and the Plan C. And Bark, I know you're about to contribute, and it's good. Plan D for dog. Hold on to it. First, let's go check out the Shadow Market, and then we'll evolve our plan organically into whichever best fits the situation.
Oh,
Are we
okay,
all
I'm
on?
just a rookie here. Just a rookie
Yeah, no, it's
here.
all right. There's no
All
such
right.
thing as a bad idea in this stage of investigation. We're all just throwing spaghetti at the wall to see what turns to plaster and helps hold the place together.
That's how they made the kitchen. I wondered. It looked like there was an explosion
Right?
in there.
It looks like a wallpaper. I believe it is pasta.
Oh, yeah. Okay. All right,
Uh,
so...
All right,
Yes.
so y'all want to head for the Shadow Market?
Yeah, we
I
catch
would
a
love to
cab.
do that.
Okay, yeah. So you leave the new station and you hail a cab which pulls up on the nice new cobblestone. It hasn't had time to decay because it's fresh from being slagged and rebuilt.
Is it still really like a really smooth, dark black? It hasn't been faded by the sun or cracked or anything.
Yeah,
So
no
like
cracks or anything. Yeah,
an uncracked black cobblestone. Perfect.
it has that new cobblestone smell.
Oh,
And
don't like that smell, but man, it's just so smooth and appealing to look at.
So you all load in the cab and you tell the driver that you're headed to the Shadow Market, and they're pretty chatty actually. There's like Shadow Market, yeah, that's out in the designated debris zone.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you sure you want to go down there at the time of night? I mean, lights are awful pretty if you look up, but you might catch something else if you know what I mean.
Like it-
Gonorrhea.
I'm very unclear. No, I don't
What
think
kind
that.
of debris? Is this construction area or?
Oh, well, who knows really what they do up there on the Everspire, but hey, my money's on somebody inside is blowing it up, if you know what I mean. No, we got all kinds of stuff raining down, and actually as he's speculating, you pull up to see street guards have blocked the street, and they wave him down, and he sort of like swivels his little window in the carriage, and the street guards say, sorry, my man, it's closed from here on out. We had a debris fall from the tower, and oh, wait a minute, is that you high guard in there?
Yeah, hi.
Yes,
Hi.
Officer Mikhail
Sorry, the window's
Pavlovitsky.
really, really dirty.
They're also very high in the guard. Yes, we are officers of the High Guard, and we are coming to the crime scene. You can let our friend with the handsome cab through. That would be very convenient. Thank you.
Oh, the crime scene. Yeah, you mean the disaster area. Well, I hope you brought
disaster?
I hope you brought your boots and gloves. We're gonna need some hands in here.
Well,
And,
We
uh,
weren't there in time.
oh,
Waves you on through, and
no.
so the cabbie is now looking pretty unhappy, and as you round a corner, you can actually see the sky is kind of lit up orange. There's a lot of smoke rising over what should be the Shadow Market. You can still see the sign. It says, welcome to Shadow Market. But inside, where all of the stalls and tents should be, there's just mayhem. And the cabbie looks really nervous, and it's like, okay, guys, look, I feel really uncomfortable being here right now. I don't know what's going on, but could you just, go?
Well, yes, we will. Just thank you very much for the ride, and you track your mileage and submit it to the Headguard post office box.
Yeah,
and
of course.
Right, yes. But thank you very much. Drive safely.
Bye. It's nice meeting you.
What was he so scared about?
Kind of, I don't know.
And he
pretty, though.
The dude was weird.
He whips the horses he wants out of there because he is spooked by what he has seen. So you find yourselves standing in front of what used to be the Shadow Market, and you can tell like there are clear spaces where lots of stalls and tents were, and actually some of them are pretty well intact, but some of them are covered under stone and wood and just sort of random pieces of debris, some of which is still sort of sparking with magical energy. There's like some green flame that folks are trying to put out and having a hard time. There's some like chunks of rocks that are sort of like crackling with magical energy. And for the most part, actually, you see the street guard have posted up to stop people from coming in, but they're not really helping the people inside. And so you see what appear to be the shopkeepers basically trying to rescue whatever they can, and in some cases trying to pull one another from the debris.
Oh.
Mikhail steps in to help move people out of the debris. He's got William. Oh no, he doesn't have William Club. Oh no, it's burned to ash. It was in the office.
He has some sort of standard issue club that he's nicknamed Bill.
Yeah, he reaches for William Club, and it's not there. The sheath is gone too. So there's a smaller, duller club on his belt. And it has no name, and he tries to use it as a lever, but it just bends and it's like crackling like it's gonna snap. So he puts it away and then tries to help move rocks and help people out from under the debris.
Oh, sad club
leverage. Yeah,
sad club is sad.
Rescue dog.
All right. Well, let's get some rolls on the table for this. This is basically going to be some physical strength that Mikhail needs to do if he's lifting things out. Unless you want to try to intimidate the rubble.
You're on mute.
Yes, if only I could intimidate the rubble. I'll tell you what. Could I possibly use just a general magical power to could I maybe just use some general magic to help move rocks and use my Arcana and strength? Or
what's the name of that spell? My man?
The name of that spell is
Mage Hand,
Player Wish Fulfillment. No, I don't have that at all. Okay, so I guess it'll be athletics, which I am also trained in. So
nice.
Yeah. Okay. 20 total. That's 17 with a +3.
That's very good. So yeah, Mikhail runs in to the first stall that he sees where there's what looks to be a halfling family trying to rescue one of their member, but also packing baskets full of exotic fruits. And Mikhail pulls the male of the family out of the fire, where he was actually not stuck. He was just trying to get some of the extra special stuff from the back, and so he turns around kind of grumpy, like, what are you doing? I'm gonna lose the shipment.
No amount of exotic fruits is worth your life or the lives of your family. I assure you, there will always be more fruits. There may not be any more use.
Oh, what are you talking about? This is the life of my family. And he tries to dive back in.
No,
I assume that Mikhail holds him off.
I do hold him off. You may not bring into a burning tent to get fruit.
All right. And so meanwhile, Illyn and Bark are looking for people. What are y'all up to?
Yeah, I think Illyn and Bark are using Bark's incredibly keen sense of smell to try to locate people stuck inside of underneath rubble or within tents who may be stuck and alone that others have missed. And since since we are former park rangers, we of course will also rescue animals or small flightless birds or incredibly large dire insects that might have been unfortunately trapped underneath rubble. Whatever living creatures we can smell up and then carefully hustle out of danger.
Let's have. Are you investigating for them or perceiving for them?
I think I'm survivaling for them using tracking.
I'll take it. Yeah, let's see. Let's see what that survival roll looks like.
That survival's the skill you use for tracking. Just.
I tried to game the system. It did not work.
Well, mine didn't work great. I got 8 on the die plus 4 is 12.
12. Okay, so with the 12, Bark is sniffling very intently and kind of jagging one way and then another. It's difficult because it's a market. There are people there all the time. There's lots of interesting smells, and Bark actually dives under the side of a tent that doesn't appear to be in any distress. It's kind of fine, and you hear from inside a man's voice go, "Hey, get out of here! What are you doing? Get out of my meats!"
Bark, remember.
Bark!
Victims, not Vienna sausages.
That's not for rescuing. That's for eating later. Sorry, sir. High Guard official business. We're looking for our survivors that are rather meat tasting.
High Guard, you idiots. Well, if you want to help somebody, go back to the office. That's everything's crushed. It's a disaster.
Oh no. Okay, we'll do that. Thanks. Thank you. It's nice to see you again. I guess. Oh. Sorry for the meat shop.
All right. So, Clara, is there anything that you would like for Aloe to be doing while these rescues are happening?
Using their agility to move people out of the way of like falling rocks or anything like that, and getting people to a safe space as fast as possible.
Yeah. So let's see. Are you just gonna bodily move them if they don't want to go?
Yeah. Well, I don't have time to persuade them, right?
All right. So yeah, let's take an agility roll. Let's do an agility check.
Okay. So it's a 20-sided die, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. Sorry. And all right. So I got 3.
3, and
Total?
then what is your modifier for agility?
What do you mean my modifier?
In your skills section, there'll be acrobatics, and that's plus 4 for you. So you take the 3 you rolled on the die, and you add 4, and you get still really bad.
Yeah, 7's not ideal.
Say absolutely nothing.
So 7.
Okay. We're checking it out. So with a 7, Aloe springs into action. She sees a like pile of wooden debris coming down, and it seems like it's really far away. I mean, it's like 30 feet away, and it's headed towards a tent where you can't see the person inside, but you see just articles of clothing being chucked out of the door of the tent. And she's making leaps, and it looks like she's not going to make it. And in fact, Aloe like tucks and rolls her way in and gets ready to grab a person who is actually on her way out. And you both collide at the doorway. But with all of the weight of the stuff that she's carrying, you sort of both teeter out of the door just as a big chunk of flaming wood lands on the tent and would have crushed you both. So everyone's okay.
Is that 2 failures and 1 success on the scales of justice? Did I count that right?
Yeah, let's call it that. Yeah, it's rough stuff, guys.
Difficult start.
So there's mayhem, but it's starting to clear up. Like that piece of debris seemed to be the last thing falling from the tower, and everyone is finishing putting out flames. You see. The skinny wizard that you saw earlier, along with another, sort of like casting dispel magic to put down the green flame that was withstanding normal efforts. And you kind of see the whole of the market as a community, like basically getting it done. So they've put out the fires. They've rescued pretty much everybody that they think they can rescue. There's some wounded, but they're patching each other up. and the one place you can see that they're avoiding is the office in the back, or what's left of that one-story building that you saw in the vision.
The very place we need to go. But I think that one of us should speak with this thin man, Ichabod.
Has anybody seen him?
He's right there, the skinny wizard putting out flames.
Oh yeah, I can kind of see him.
Yeah, if you jump, like I can. If you come over here, you can see between this person's legs and right.
Oh yeah.
See here. This is why I'm looking right here. Yes. So perhaps some of us should go talk to this person, and others of us should go and investigate the collapsed building.
Ooh, I'd go get the building. There might be sausages or dire insects in need of help.
Perfect. That sounds great. And Aloe, if you'll come with me, we will go and speak to this magician, Ichabod, and find out what he knows.
All right.
So as Illyn and Bark trot away, we follow Mikhail and Aloe as they come upon Ichabod, and actually there's a pair of wizards there. They're wearing not quite identical robes. There's like a color difference, but they both kind of like the houndstooth pattern, and they're just finishing up healing someone's leg as they like stand up and hop away. And they're like, thanks. And they look at each other and look back at their tent, and it's all kind of chaos, and they're not really paying attention to you as you walk up.
Do I recognize one of them as Ichabod, or are they like pretty similar looking?
They're pretty similar looking, but one of them has darker hair, and you recognize that as Ichabod.
Okay. Pardon me. I don't realize it's a very busy time, but could I have just a moment of your time? Mikhail Pavlovitskyevich of the High Guard.
What?
That's my bad.
Oh, God. Are you here to help get people out?
Well, yes, we have done some of that, but we actually have a few questions for you. Now seems like, perhaps not an opportune time. We're doing it now anyway. So
questions? Well,
yes.
All right. What can I do to help, officers?
This is Officer Sida, and I said I'm Officer Pavlovitskyevich, and we have some questions for you about a rather large gentleman who you have been working with previously. His name, I believe, was Hogbottom.
Oh God, yeah, Mr. Hogbottom, and he looks back at the destroyed main office and kind of shakes his head. It's like there was nothing I could do.
Yes, that is a shame. We will be investigating to ensure that to determine his status. But
I'm pretty sure that he's dead.
Oh, that's interesting to note.
Nobody ever saw him come out after the rubble started falling.
Sure he's dead. Now, it's an interesting way that you said that. What kind of magic do you specialize in, Ichabod?
Me, I mostly specialize in healing magics and protection spells.
Yes, so abjuration. That's sort of the whole school of.
I see you've studied.
Well, I'm not a wizard per se. I don't have academic training, but yes, I do know. I dabble. Let's say I dabble.
Okay, great, great.
Yes, so that is good to know as well. Abjuration, right in my book. And this, your friend here in the very similar, if Shannon were here, I'm sure she would know a nice way to say ugly, robe. What is he a wizard as well?
And he's been watching this whole time, so he just says, yes, hello, I'm Vicente. Ichabod and I are partners. Our tent over there that's burned to the ground is our magical items shop. We're going to have to start all over.
I am very sorry to hear that. I'm sure you have insurance. Yes, they will at least help to recover.
Actually, he and Ichabod look at each other and This Hogbottom doesn't allow any outside insurers. If there's anyone to collect policy from, it would be Mr. Hogbottom, and well, you see where he is.
Well, we haven't seen what he is yet, but it's interesting that you keep assuring us that he is dead. And
Well,
Vicente...
when the debris started falling, a bunch of us were inside the office, and we all ran out to try and collect our stuff and get out of here before anything bad happened. But it all came down, and it was hell. You could see what happened. I mean, look at the office. I never saw him come out, and I think he must still be in there.
Yes, well, we are going to determine that separately. Vicente, if I might ask you a quick question, and then I'm going to turn it over to my partner. Vicente,
Sure.
What is your magical specialty, if you don't mind my asking? Your friend Ichabod here, necromancy, the healing variety, and
Sorry, did you say
abjuration.
Necromancy.
Are you not familiar?
What's this
I
one?
thought you were academic training. The majority of recovery and rejuvenation spells fall under the school of necromancy.
You know what? You must have
At
read
least they did in
different
my day.
books from me. That's really messed up stuff.
Yeah, see, when I learned it was, I think they've updated the systems of magic. I learned in the third and a half system of magic when all those sorts of spells were considered necromantic. But at any rate, Vicente, can I ask you again?
Yes.
What's specialty?
Ichabod and I do the same kind of magic.
Perfect.
We're mostly self-taught. This is our first business venture, and well, we really wanted it to work well. Things were going well too. I just where are we going to collect all those herbs again?
I'm sure you could hire out to some scantily clad, unarmed folks at the edges of the woods.
And he and Ichabod look at each other and laugh again. Oh.
But yes, now I turn
We're
it.
broke, officer. We're ruined.
Oh, that is very unfortunate. Perhaps a Kickstarter or an Indiegogo or some such. But in the meantime, allow me to introduce again Officer Seda. And Officer, I will pass the torch to you if you have questions for these two gentlemen, who are, of course, obliged to answer at the moment.
Just have a few questions. So, the last time you saw the wizard, what did you discuss? And just describe the last time you saw him.
I believe she is referring to Mr. Hogbottom.
Mr. Hogbottom.
Oh, and Ichabod says, "Oh, sure. Well, a lot of folks were in his office to complain about the debris, and they wanted more protection for the market." He looks over at Vicente and he's like, "Vicente, maybe you could go see if there's anything left in the tent. I've got this from here." And Vicente kind of looks wistfully at the tent and sighs and begins to walk off. And with that, Ichabod watches until he's about out of earshot and leans into the office. Just, "Look, Hogbottom was telling everyone that I was going to cast a spell to protect everyone from the falling debris, and it was a scam. There's no way I could have cast a spell big enough to protect everybody. At best, I could have saved a few people here and there, and when it all started coming down, that's what I tried to do. But that guy was a huge jerk, and if we had known that before we signed up to sell here, we never would have done it. But he's got all of our deposits, or did have. Oh God, well, I don't think we're the only ones ruined here tonight."
Okay, very interesting. What was the financial relationship? So you didn't have insurance, but he had your deposit?
Oh, sure. We had insurance. I mean, Mr. Hogbottom has a standard deal with everybody. He owns your stall. You can be there for certain hours. If you leave anything in there beyond certain days, he can seize it as property. I could go on, but the bottom line is, without him here to process any claims, well, there's no insurance for us.
Okay.
I mean, the nice thing was he kept the place relatively clean and free from vagabonds, but you could call him a slumlord of a market operator. It's not nice to speak ill of the dead, but I will.
Okay, so you're very sure that he's dead. Just one last question. Are you and your partner the only wizards here? Oh, besides Mr. Hogbottom, are there any other wizards that have shops here?
Well, we're the only ones operating an actual magic shop, as far as I know. I mean, there is a spice shop that some of those in a pinch could be turned to magical uses. There's Blue Apron and her husband Svengard over in the exotic fruits tent. Some of those are pretty cool too. But I don't know what you're gonna get out of them magically, except maybe a little light show.
Okay, that's all the questions I have as a rookie.
All right, no, you did well. Let's just say that. Yeah, but I think Mr. Ikobata, it's very good to talk to you. Thank you for cooperating. Standard line: do not leave town. Do not allow your partner to leave town. And I wish both of you the best, and hopefully we'll not have to return and arrest you for some manner of violent crime. So have a good day, and good luck with your collapsed business.
I thank you, I guess, officers. All right, so with that, we will leave them and join Illyn and Bark, who simultaneously are checking out the...
Bark, no, not the food, the rubble. Ruff.
So yeah, despite Bark pulling towards the interesting tents full of interesting food, you make your way back to the main office, and you can see it looks pretty destroyed. The fires are out, but there's still some like charcoal and debris smoking, and where the door should be, you definitely see sort of a smattering of these trinkets that in the vision you saw Hogbottom trying to pile into his drawer and take away. You can see like the letter opener is kind of crushed underneath the rock and bent up into pieces, and you can see like there's a wrist sundial that has been smashed and is now cracked and missing the sundial piece, so it's useless. But among the rubble,
sundial piece.
Yeah, no, it's no good. But among the rubble, there is a human woman who doesn't actually look that dirty, as though she's been she doesn't look like she's been through the horror, but she's rapidly getting dirty as you see her like trying to lift moving rocks and saying, Father.
Are you here to help? Are
what?
You wouldn't be young Hogbottom, would you?
Who is that? Oreos? Is that you?
No. I mean, that's a pretty good guess. I could go by Oreos if you want, but my name's Illyn. Hi.
What? Oh my God! Come here! Help me! I think I know where Father is, but I can't get through the.
Oh yeah. Come on, Bark. Okay, so 1, 2, 3 lift. Is that what we're doing?
Sure. Well, oh my God! What is this dog? Wait a minute! You're not. Or okay. Whatever. Just help me get this off of him.
Okay.
And yeah, so she works with you to team lift, and you move a beam aside, not very far, but just enough that you can now see in through a crack, and you can see Hobarth Hogbottom, or at least what's left of him, and part of him is still buried under rubble, but you can see his head, and there's pretty clear destruction that he's dead. Does Illyn poke at the head?
But, just with a stick a little, but until it's obvious.
Oh my God, Father! What are you doing? Don't!
I'm sorry. This is standard police procedure. Poke.
Police procedure? Help him!
I mean, I just have to determine if he's dead before we decide to help him or embalm him.
What?
Okay. Kind of
dead? No, Father! And she tries to pull you out of the way to get into lift. And she grabs sort of his outstretched hand and is yanking. She's clearly not thinking straight.
Oh, well, Illyn's good for that. Like, okay, 1, 2, 3, pull! And she'll like grab onto her waist and help. It's a team effort.
All right, give me a team effort roll. What is that going to be?
Sounds like strength to me. Hey, 14 plus 0 is 14.
14. All right, so you both work at this for a little longer than you should, and you hear kind of a snap. But
so maybe if like we use you as a lever, and no wait, what if Bark drags and what was that sound?
Yeah, so it is. Yeah, it's a success, and in the sudden freedom of motion, you all sort of fall back on top of one another, with her on top, and then the half, sort of like the front half of Hogbottom's torso has now been pulled out of the wreckage, and she can tell that he is dead, and now she is just kind of cradling him, like, no.
Oh, I'm very sorry for your loss. Now, do you have any reason to wanted to have killed your father?
Oh my God! What? To kill Daddy?
Well, you were at the
Why?
scene of the death at the time when we found the body.
What?
Bark a little help here. Wolf. That's a good idea. Okay. Do you know anyone else who would want to see your father murdered?
Oh, well, geez, most of the people he's ever done business with, Daddy was a real hard ass.
And
She's
so,
kind of caressing his face.
Oh, I guess
It's very sad.
Bass was hard at one point. Okay. Now, all right. So, I assume he at one point had most of his torso. When was the last time you saw him not crushed?
What? Oh, God, it was this afternoon. He told me about his plan to get people to pay for the protection shield that was going to protect the market from the falling debris.
That'd be cool.
Well, it would be cool if it was real. He's paying Ichabod, that self-taught hack, to pretend that he could do a magical shield. But
That's crummy. Why would he do that?
because he's never satisfied. It's never enough. Oh, Daddy, why were you so stupid?
Sorry, let me... There. And Illyn puts a gentle hand on this lady's shoulder.
She kind of sobs in response to real human emotion. Well, real humanoid emotion.
Yeah, close enough. All right. So Illyn has no reason to suspect her right now. So she'll just leave her on the list of suspects, and then continue on with some really. Illyn will look for the invisible wall for a little while this lady sobs, and then I assume Illyn does not find the invisible wall.
No, it is not there.
Okay. Then Illyn will look for signs of where it was.
So yeah, let's get a perception or investigate check for that.
Right. They're both terrible. I take perception. Hey, 8 plus 2 is 10.
Well, guess what? It was a really low DC, so you got it. Yeah, so you can very clearly see, kind of through past the body, through the hole, that there is a line of dust and debris.
You have to move your father's hips out of my way.
Oh my God, what are you? And and there is just sort of an arc in the floor that's in the shape. It sort of describes what would have been a larger sphere, where like dust and debris sort of gathered, and you can see that sort of piled slightly higher.
A sphere, you say, not a wall so much.
Yeah, you see, and it's sort of arcing away, so it looks like if there was a center of the sphere, it would have been on the outside of the door.
Interesting. Okay. All right. So, from this, Illyn has concluded that the master mime, was hiding behind that door at the time of the murder. Illyn will check behind the door to see if there's a mime back there.
Okay. Illyn grabs the door and rips it open and finds the ground underneath it, because the door has fallen out of its frame and is laying against the ground. And
close the door again.
And yeah, actually, as we close the door, we cut to another door closing, and we see in a different time, an earlier time, Aloe walking out of the chief's office, what we know as the chief's office, and kind of lets out a sigh to herself after being interviewed. And a bright, helpful intern says, "So, how did it go? How did you find the chief?"
She was fine. Really weird. Likes fish. I know that now.
Oh yeah, she she can be like that, but all of us took the liberty of kind of reading your file. It sounds like you've had an exciting past.
Yeah, I don't really like to talk about it, but
Oh, sure. Sorry. It's just, and believe me, we won't hold any of that against you here. It's just we're all very interested in what it'll be like when you're around.
Yeah, me too. I love police work. I love my job. So I'm just going to focus on that. And please don't try to get close to me.
Oh, okay. And so can you tell me where the scales of justice are right now, Scott?
Yeah, they are 3 successes to 2 failures.
Okay, and she says, well, I look forward to maintaining a respectful professional distance from you, and we all can't wait to see what you do. And with that, she's sort of like disappears from the room and says, you can see yourself out. And with that, I think this is a good time for us to take a little break, our little halfway break.
Excellent.
This is a good time for folks in the chat. If you have any questions, to hit us up. For folks that are playing, feel free to grab a beverage, take a bio break, hit the restroom. And I guess we have 5 minutes on the clock.
Yep, 5 minutes on the clock. And if the break is sponsored by anybody, do we have any sponsors this week?
Well, let's see. I have something, but I'm gonna save that for the end of the break.
I don't think we have any more sponsors, but let me look through and see if we have any more public service announcements, because I feel like there might be another one that that was sent to me by Tweeterbird. So let me just go double check real quick.
I know that.
Give me just a couple minutes and I'll look that up.
All right. I know that there is one public service announcement we have for Acadicon. The Acadicon Kickstarter for the RPG Academy is currently live. If you too want to meet me too and Andrew, maybe. Andrew's a hard maybe, and I think Marty's a no, and I suspect Clara's also a no. But if you want to meet me and other people who are not here but who are every bit as probably nearly approximately as cool as these people who are here, you too can come to Acadicon. Buy tickets, support the Kickstarter. Cincinnati, Ohio, Dayton, Ohio, where the fabulous and fun city where Acadicon will be held. Meet friends and play games with them. That's pretty much the deal. It's a weekend of fun and games. Everybody should come out, including Andrew Hard Maybe. Mm-hmm.
They called me Andrew J. Hard Maybe Young. It's a terrible deck name. I've been trying to get rid of it for 15 years, and they just will not stop.
That's rough.
Very difficult.
All right. We do have... Oh, go ahead. We do have one question in the audience. My question is, how do traditional academic versus self-taught wizards view each other? That's a fabulous question, I think, and especially being that Lan Arcanym is the city of magic. That I'm sure there are attitudes across the line, right? There are a lot of people in Lan Arcanym who spontaneously erupt in magical abilities with no education or training, right? Sorcerers, certainly. And there are those who make bargains with the nefarious beings, either in the tower or deep underneath the earth or from a different dimension or alternative plane. To get their magical abilities, and then there are just some stuffy old wizards who read books for most of their lives, and there's kind of an active level of conflict between these forces. So I'd like to think that there's a heady degree of hostility between them, but that's just my intuition. What do you think, Marty?
I don't know if we're gonna find out what Marty thinks right at the moment, but I can tell you.
Sorry,
I can tell you what I think.
The camera's rearranged and now you're in Marty's spot. So that's
perfect. Oh, I get to be Marty. It's exciting. I think that what it is there are certain sects of self-taught wizards, there's certain sects of academic wizards, certainly who would view the others with disdain. I mean, it's easy to say that academic wizards don't have the heart, and it's easy to say the self-taught wizards don't have the mind, you don't have the intellectual capacity for it. I think it's deeper than that. I really think it's a case of just different styles coming out the same way. No one's better than the other. No one method is better than the other.
That's
if
so
you're
egalitarian of you.
Yeah. I mean, if you're casting spells, you're doing it right?
I like that. I like that. Yep.
Okay.
That's...
I think there's even a group whose motto that is: if you're casting spells, you're doing it right.
Yeah. I think they might be having some sort of convention even. Crazy how that works.
Could be. I did find the public service announcement that we were sent.
Oh, go ahead.
Okay. Let me just verbatim. The Temple District wishes to remind you that the shrines located around the city are only for divine prayer and are not to be used for waste disposal. Thank you. So it sounds like maybe some folks are just dropping stuff off these shrines. Sacrifices are welcome, but you got to really be a little pickier with those sacrifices than
Like
than
whole
they are
pig,
being,
one
I
thing.
guess.
Just a bunch of dead pigeons that you found in your attic. Not an
Very
acceptable
different thing.
sacrifice.
Yeah.
Marty, I think you're
it's,
muted.
It's really tricky with some of these gods. Like, it's hard to tell, and when you leave it up to them which offerings they're gonna accept, sometimes you end up having to take out more trash than you would otherwise.
It's an adventure and a mystery.
I think we need to get to the other question before we jump out of this bio break. Another question: why does the team let Illyn out in public unsupervised? Great question. Bark is very fast, and Illyn is small enough to ride Bark, so it's really difficult to keep Illyn. It's really hard to keep Illyn supervised, and it's really hard to keep them like contained at any one area.
Yeah. The nice thing about the High Guard is they mostly just care about results. So there's not a lot of push for a good PR image or needing people to feel like we've got good bedside manner.
Yeah, which is great because apparently none of us do.
Yeah. It's a fascinating phenomenon when Aaron's not here. Nobody's the sociable one.
Everybody is grumpy and or awkward.
We have grumpy, dopey, and something. I don't know, sleepy.
Punchy.
I like that.
Punchy. I would like to be. I guess I would be grumpy. Yeah, I guess I would be grumpy, wouldn't I?
Yeah, and I'm dopey.
I think I'm
And you're
grumpy.
dopey. So yeah, I guess what would you like to be? Would you want to be punchy?
Punchy, yeah.
Punchy. Okay, that's perfect.
I was pretty punchy to be like,
Or distant,
we're not
or-
friends. We're not going to be friends in the office. That's not
Don't
what
try
I
to get close to me.
Leave your gift baskets.
Your gift baskets at the door.
Leave your scented oils and soaps and go.
Take this paperweight.
Nice.
All right, so I think we're wrapped up.
All right. So let's see. Before we come back from the break, we've got Skip Skyseeker here with an update on the ongoing wizard battles high up in the Everspire. A source inside the magistration, may they be praised, has revealed that what was originally described as a spat between high-powered wizard officials has escalated. The mayor has adjusted the designated debris zone to cover more affected blocks as stonework, furniture, and the occasional body part have begun to rain down on a wider area. Check in again with me, Skip Skyseeker, now Sayer 5 for more updates.
Oh, I am such a skipster. He is the voice. Like, it's not just the voice; it's really the intonation, the way that he says things.
Yeah.
It's a little intoxicating.
It was terrible being down in the Smith District when we were in the area of Skip Skyseeker, like the Sky Speak.
So close.
Spy.
No, it's all right. Skip.
But it was like the Sky Sleeper 3? Anyway, the guy had a 3 on his
Oh,
box,
yeah.
and his voice was weird.
Yeah, his name wasn't Skip; it was Spick.
Oh, yeah, Sky Sweep.
Spickle, right? Short for Spickle.
Yeah, Spickle.
Spickle Spice Speaker.
Spickle
It's a very difficult name to pronounce. I do not know
Very
why
hard.
he would not change it.
Spickle's back slipper.
So,
Very close right there.
yeah, we will come back in. So welcome back, everyone, to Lawful and Orderly Special Visions Unit episode, season 2, episode 0.5, because we're almost to the end of episode 1. That doesn't make sense. That's not how you number things.
Episodes.
Yeah. I'm a computer guy. Guess what? I'm out now. You all know that. So in the first half of the episode, a wizard battle somewhere high up in the Everspire has led to a dangerous situation on the ground where debris from the tower itself and apparently the occupants and their furniture inside has been falling down on areas around the town, including a market that is in the shadow side of the tower. And while most people seem to have gotten out alive, one unfortunate crush victim was Hobarth Hogbottom, proprietor of the Shadow Market, along with other markets around town. And it appears from the vision that our intrepid officer saw at the beginning of the episode that he may not have died accidentally at all. Dun, 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 dun.
Dun, dun,
So
dun.
our officers have come and surveyed the scene, have assisted with some rescue efforts as folks tried to rescue themselves, each other, and their wares. And they managed to, I almost said intimidate, but yeah, I'll stick with that. Interrogate and intimidate two wizards of the self-taught healing variety, and the daughter of Hobarth Hogbottom herself, who was attempting to get her father's body out of the main office where it had been crushed. And what's up?
And what was that daughter's name? Which we all heard, we all know.
Let's find out.
Okay, good.
Yeah. So actually, we're going to cut to the next day. And seated in a interrogation room are the three of you across from Miss Hogbottom, who definitely has a name that I didn't forget. Harriet Hogbottom. Harriet Hogbottom, who is sitting across from you wearing much nicer clothes than you saw her in the night before. She has cleaned herself up. And she still looks very upset, but she's sitting quietly.
Thank you for.
Oh, go ahead.
No, I insist.
Oh, okay. So, Harriet, or can I call you Harry? So, Harry, when was the last time that you told your dad you wanted him? I mean, who was? When was? Do you see mimes a lot? Does your dad know any mimes?
Does he
have enemies of any mimes?
What do these questions have to do with my father?
You can tell us. We'll keep you safe.
Safe from mimes? Safe from debris falling from the tower? What?
Bark, a little
what
help
am I
here.
here
Rolf,
for,
Rolf.
officers?
Rolf.
Safe from mimes, safe from the various things that may be endangering you. Mimes are technically on the list.
Look, officers, if you don't have any real questions for me, I should get back to work. I have a lot of paperwork to deal with my father's estate, and these markets need someone to run them, and I'm already behind.
According to the notes that were written, not on my hand, it looks like
I see the notes written on your hand there.
But Mikhail keeps some other good notes too. And I was reading through, and it looks like there are only 2 wizards in the shadow market. Is that true to your knowledge?
As far as I know, yeah. Ichabod and Vicente, they run their little magic shop. It's kind of cute. I mean, you can tell that this isn't really their bag, but. I thought they brought a nice air to the market. They kind of livened things up a bit. They were always really nice.
And so your father didn't know of any other magicians or wizards, and you.
Oh, well, of course he did. He ran markets all over town.
Right.
My father had his hand in every pie that he could get. He just happened to own the land, and he started setting up these markets.
I'm sorry, I hate to interrupt you. Illyn, do not write anything that's about the pies. It is not relevant. I promise you.
I promise.
But
it is not bakers...
relevant. No, I promise you. Whatever you're writing down, it is completely not relevant to this case.
Fine. You questioned Harry.
I think the way actually that's a good idea. I will go next and ask you some fine questions, and we will participate in a time-honored tradition of police officer, and other unaligned police officer, and Elo will go last.
Okay.
Can I be the chaotic police officer? That's my favorite alignment.
You are ruining the bit. Oh. You are negating the effectiveness of this maneuver.
You both need to work on your group mind. I feel like this would work a lot better if you were all kind of in the same headspace.
Is he going to take the dog everywhere with him?
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Aloe, yeah, it is. Bark is actually an officer. You will note that there's a badge on her collar.
Yeah,
and actually...
Bark outranks us all.
Bark does not... Oh, no, I guess...
served as acting chief.
Bark. I don't believe Bark technically currently outranks me.
Well, that's a good point. Yeah,
I have seniority over Bark.
Your vacation lasted a few weeks, but not quite long. Yeah.
Yeah, it depends on
officers,
how
please.
So I'm working under a dog now. Okay.
That is correct. I'm sorry. Yes. Harriet, just a quick question for you. Ichabod worked with your father closely on this stealing of people's money via lying, correct?
If you can call it that. I mean, I doubt Ichabod has the brains or the guts to do something like this without being held over a barrel. Probably my dad made him an offer, like he would get his money back or it would help open another tent. I really don't know, but Ichabod's, he's sweet, and my dad will use any opportunity he can to squeeze somebody. I have a feeling you're trying to say something, but it's almost as though you've been magically silenced with some sort of technology.
No, I don't think that is relevant. I don't think that's likely. I was thinking about squeezing and I got distracted. Let me return to the matter at hand. Vicente, did Vicente work with your father closely, or was it just Ichabod?
Oh, not that I know of. I don't think Vicente would have put up with that. Ichabod's kind of a pushover.
Vicente is more straightforward, more assertive.
I just get the sense that he's the one with the vision. He's got a sense of who he wants to be, and Ichabod means well, but he's easily intimidated.
Yeah, and just one more question. This is I don't know if you'll answer to this one. Ichabod and Vicente, are they romantically entangled? Are they business partners? Are they related? They just it's unclear any of the combination of those things.
They're certainly business partners.
Yes.
I haven't really hung around them very much. They're both nice guys. Maybe they are involved. I don't know.
Okay, not especially pertinent, but would have been nice to know. So, and that was not especially a helpful answer, but thank you. After these couple of polite interchanges, I think we're going to pass it to our friend Aloe, and I have actually a couple of things to do, and I need to leave the room. And Illyn, why don't you and Bart come with me just temporarily while we let Aloe ask questions in her own special manner.
Is this about the chief surprise party? Because
it is that. That is what it is.
Okay.
Let's step out of the room and discuss that while Aloe asks questions in whatever way she deems fit.
Okay. It's going to be very intimidating. So I'm going to circle Harriet and going to ask her, what is your particular involvement with your father's business? Do you know, like, the ins and outs of the business, huh?
Well, I know some of it. I mean, he always wished he had a son, but he said he's going to use what he's got. And if I'm it, then, I'm going to have to run things. So I've helped out here and there. Occasionally I run some of the markets on my own, but,
okay.
His business was always his. He let me know that.
So did you ever resent your father for you not being a boy?
Oh, well, I guess I never thought of it that way. It's a pretty terrible thing for a father to do. Yeah, but I guess I kind of have my freedom. It's not like he told me that I'm tied down or tried to marry me off to anyone. He let me study business and gave me, access to running some of the markets. So I guess in a way he treated me like a son, even if maybe he resented me for not being one.
So would you say you're in a better or worse position now that your father's gone?
Huh. Well, geez, I hadn't thought about that. I mean, you never want your parents to die. It seems pretty messed up, but He was kind of a jerk. I think I can do a lot of good. There's a lot of hardworking people in these markets, and I could cut them a better deal. The business doesn't need to make so much profit. And
so you didn't approve of the way your father was running the business? Well,
to the extent that I knew about it, I mean, I could see him squeezing people, and there's a look. They get desperate. And then some days they're there and they're desperate, and that's when he's smart smiling, and then a week later, their stall is empty.
Very interesting. Who do you think suffered the most under your father's rule?
Oh, geez, the most. Oh, that's a hard one. I mean, it used to be my mother, but she's been dead for some years, and I don't know where he puts that energy now. I mean, I guess his tenants.
Tell me more about your mom.
Well, she's everything a great businessman's wife should be. She wore the decadent things that he would buy for her and go around town to all the swank events. And I miss her, though. She helped raise me more than they paid other people to do it. And I feel like that's pretty rare for somebody as business minded as my parents.
I think that's all the questions I have.
I keep telling you that the chief doesn't like crepe paper. That's.
Listen, Illyn, have you been paying? Okay, are you ready? I can't really see into the window. I wish they would put stools in here so I could see. So I'm just going to count to 3 and I'm going to open the door. And I assume that the Illo is going to be in the middle of like a really gruesome, getting ready to put the things under the thumbnails, or like holding the dagger. So we're going to get it, and we're going to stop it and we're going to switch the roles, right?
So all these notes I took about the chief's surprise party, I should just cross those out?
No, save those, because I think her birthday is next month. I'm not entirely sure, so save those.
Okay.
Maybe write them on your foot somewhere you don't wash often.
Okay.
And okay, ready, go. No, officer, say that. Don't. You got to. It's not. You can't do that. It's not. Oh, what are you?
You come in and you see Harriet. She's got a handkerchief and she's kind of dabbing her eyes and sobbing. She's like, no one's ever listened to me about this stuff before. It's really hard. You push it down, and it's not that anyone was being mean about it. It's just you don't think to let it out, until you do. And oh wow, thank you, officer.
I suppose whatever works, right? Yes, thank you very much for your time, Ms. Hogbottom. I personally have one last question, unless anyone else would like to step in. And that is, sure. Can you give us an approximate value on the scale of 1 to 10 of what your father's business interests look like and that he has passed down to you? So on just a scale of 1 to 10, how wealthy do you feel having inherited your father's business?
Oh, well, I mean...
10 being very wealthy and 1 being not especially wealthy.
Everything still has to go through probate, and my father probably has outstanding debts to deal with, but as far as I know, I'm the only one who stands to inherit out of his will. So, yeah,
so like a 4, like a 7...
Oh, well,
like a 2.
Can you sort of peg the ends? This feels a little free floating. Like, what's a 1 and what's a 10?
Like a 1 is you have to get the store brand boxed macaroni and cheese, and a 10 is like a 10 is you have someone else
with a carriage to pull it.
No, the 10 is like you have someone else to go and buy you the really nice macaroni and cheese. It's like a fake cheese, and it's really creamy. But someone else does that shopping for you. You're so wealthy.
Sure.
I believe that's the maximum end of the scale. I do not think you get any richer than having someone else buy name by macaroni and cheese.
I feel like by that measure, there are numbers much higher than 10.
Well,
but
on that
for the purposes
scale, where
of this
hypothetical.
Like I would. That larger scale.
No, on the small hypothetical scale.
In your hypothetical scale, I would have to say
difficult.
that I've always been at a 10. I've been really lucky my whole life.
Oh, very interesting. Yes. So you have sent
before
people...
and after. That's good to know.
So not a particularly helpful question then. Thank you for your time.
Sure.
I have one more question.
This would be good.
In the days leading up to the incident, did you see any other different kinds of people or at the shop, or was it just the usuals?
Oh, well, I mean, my father's tenants at the shadow market have been the same for a little while, but there were some arguments between Oreos, the spice monger. He was having it out with Blue A Prawn. She runs the exotic fruit stand with her husband, and I don't know if that has anything to do with my father, but I could see if he saw an angle there, well, he would try to squeeze them both.
Very into squeezing.
Yeah. Thank you for your time.
Sure.
Have a nice day.
Don't leave town.
I don't think I'll be doing either of those things. Thank you, officers.
Oh, good.
So-
or also sad.
Okay.
So yeah, she leaves, and you are all in the interrogation room. If you would like to leave, you also know that there are several shop owners waiting for their turn in here.
Oh,
None of them.
The spice merchant one of them?
Absolutely, yeah.
Okay.
So you have
you
Oreos.
Send in the spice merchant. Oreo. Double stuff.
Oreos.
What?
No,
What was-
Oreos.
Cinnamon?
Yeah, you see. So
Oikos?
Oi-
Greek
oi-
yogurt?
Oh, yeah.
Oikos.
Yeah.
Hydrox.
Oikos.
Hydrox.
So a hand reluctantly goes up. You see like a halfling wearing a blue sleeved shirt that's still pretty dingy. Like it looks like he tried to clean it since last night, but it's the same thing he was wearing. And he says, "Yes, it is me, Oreos. Hello."
Hi, come on in. You're the next contestant.
I like the cut of Oreos' jib already. Listen to the way he talks so melodic.
Okay. Hello. Yes, I do. I just go into this.
Yeah, just into this little cell-like chamber with us.
Have a seat, Oikos.
It's Oreos.
Yeah,
This is
no need to do the
very
shackles
rude.
or nothing. We're not formal here.
Could I
Be careful not to
maybe-
smudge the magic circle on the floor. Very important that you do not break those lines.
It's true. They're
Wait,
load-bearing.
What is this that you do in here?
Orebos, this is where we question people.
Oreos, please.
We just want to find out what you're doing.
It's kind of a back and forth, like a free form, like there's a lot of collaboration.
Okay.
So,
Well-
Mr. Orioles, when was the first time
Oreos.
you decided you would be a mime?
No,
A mime?
no, that's not. No, please disregard that question.
Okay.
Okay.
And instead,
How many pies have you stolen?
Nope,
and
no,
why have
also
you
that
put them
one.
in some sort of barrel?
please disregard that question as well.
Officers.
Illyn is our scribe. Officer Brown is our scribe this time.
Okay, yeah.
Please, yes, write down.
I've got some room.
We have a backup scribe as well, thankfully. Yes, Oreos. Last name relevant. Very long, complicated, hard to pronounce.
Yes, you will find it there on my paperwork.
Oh, I see. Oh my, that is very long and difficult to pronounce. Thank you very much. Nope, that's not close. You are. It doesn't even start with any of those letters. Nope, it's a good try though, Illyn. So Oreos. You and Hogbottom.
Oh boy.
Yeah, like butting heads a lot. I understand.
Oh, show me one person who liked this man, Hogbottom. He is. The world is truly a better place now that he is gone.
Well, that is not a great thing to say in a room full of police officers investigating his death, but I will write it down. Loves that he is dead.
It was no secret. I did not like him. No, anyone who worked in this market, I could not believe that anyone could say they actually like Hogbottom.
Well, no, perhaps, but they might not also say it to the officers investigating his, potential murder.
Well,
But
that sounds like maybe they are being disingenuous. I believe in being straightforward. This is how I felt about the man. This is how I feel now.
Again, the cut of your jib is just the right shape and angle, and I like it.
What's a jib?
Thank you. You as well.
Yes, very good. You should join the Backpatter Society. We have great meetings. Everyone enjoys them. Oreos, do you know magic at all in any capacity?
Do I know magic?
Yes, the casting of spells, the purveyance of wizardry.
Let me tell you the magic I know.
Is this like going to be a reference? Is this like a metaphor for something else?
Okay, yes.
Okay.
It was a metaphor.
It
It is the magic of. Well, you're not even going to let me do my whole.
Is it friendship?
It is not friendship.
If it makes you feel better, please do you. For the record, let Oreos do his spiel.
Thank you. Yes, let me tell you the magic that I know. The magic I know involves around the smell of a good stew. It is the smell of onions cooking on the stove before you dump in the most exotic spices from around the world.
Pies.
The magic that I know is the magic of a shared meal between friends or family. Because when you share a meal, you become family. This is why I sell spices. This is why I do what I do.
Were you at the final meeting that Mr. Hogbottom went to?
Oh, yes. When we asked him to protect us, he is the one in control. He says he has a wizard with a shield, and he will not use it to protect our market unless we pay.
And did you see
what kind of a man does this? I ask you. How can we pay him if our stalls are destroyed like they are now destroyed? Ugh.
And did you see who was the last out of the building, but while it was being crushed?
Last out? No. When it all started falling, I ran to my tent. I wanted to pack my spices and go. When the chunks really started to fall, I was inside packing.
And when these chunks were blowing and falling, you left. You went to the thing. Very good. I just have one more question for you. Were you? How can I put this delicately? Had you paid for this protection previously? Had Mr. Hogbottom taken the money from you on the previous occasion for this protection and was now increasing his fees? Was this a renewal of contract, or was this a first-time approach?
I see what you are saying. Well, we all pay insurance to Mr. Hogbottom for the use of our stall.
With quotations around it or no quotations? Insurance or insurance?
The document would not have the quotation marks, but to hear Mr. Hogbottom,
definitely.
You know.
Okay, got you.
So this was what he called a special act of God and was not covered under the standard insurance. Chunks coming off of the Everspire is a new level, apparently. So we would need new insurance, and we would have to pay for this wizard. It seems like such bad business. And look where he is now. Ugh.
Yes. Although it didn't do you any good either. So perhaps, you should have purchased the insurance, but that's neither here nor there.
Whoa.
Well, no, I'm just saying he was offering insurance for a certain situation, and then that situation immediately occurred. If you had gotten the insurance, maybe you could have collected, but at this point, if you did not buy...
That does sound very suspicious now that you say this.
Yeah, when you phrase it that way, it doesn't sound great.
Some sort of insurance scam. Who?
Well, that is...
Someone should look at that policy.
Well, luckily for you, that is what we're doing.
You are insurance police?
We are police for any number of things.
Believe it or not, we can pretty much police whatever we want as long as there's been a vision of it.
Yeah, and I'm going to pay person that vision.
The vision included a death and also attempted insurance fraud.
Wait, so you know it is insurance fraud.
I said attempted or proposed.
Potential. Alleged.
Preposterous.
Alleged.
On a ledge. It's on a ledge.
Well, officers, I'm glad to see you are investigating fraud. While I am thinking of it, you should really talk to those fruit salespeople. I don't like them.
Well, this is a personal preference. So, you know what? That's fine. I just have a quick question then about them. We've heard Blue Apron. What is Blue's partner's name?
Oh, Svengard?
Oh, Svengard. That's
yeah,
right.
He's okay. Svengard Prawn. Yeah, he,
Svengard Prawn.
She must have really gotten one over on him. Whatever she says, that is what goes. Even this crackpot idea of shipping foods to people's houses so that they don't have to come to the market and shop. I ask you, how can this be a sustainable business model? I cannot count the number of times we have had this fight out. It's infuriating.
You go to market for the experience. You can't barter if you get it delivered.
Yes. How will you know which spices you
Yes.
like if you cannot come into the spice tent? And
But the
Actually,
aprons-
Mr. Oinko's, I
Close,
subscribe
not
to
right,
Blue
yes.
Aprons,
Oh.
and I
What?
think it's a great service. Yeah, you should try it.
Well, now you're
Oh
encouraging
my
him to
gosh.
participate in his direct competitor's service. But that's actually not a bad idea. Perhaps you should order it, kind of see what it is in order to craft your
How do
own.
you know
that
you
doesn't
don't
make
like
sense.
Blue
How-
Apron if you haven't tried it?
Where did she get the money to get this off the ground? Unless,
No, now you are speculating and you are coming to conclusions that are not yours to come to.
Yeah, this is
I
our
can
job.
see it in your eyes. You're getting.
I am a
you're putting
citizen of
things
this
together.
country. I can make whatever conclusions I want as long as they don't involve implicating the magistration. May they rule.
Okay, actually, you are correct. Barely, technically correct. It's a very good kind of correct to be.
Okay, maybe we should bring in the Blue Apron people. Do we have any more
I
questions?
have
for him?
one last question.
Okay.
We're so well organized. It's amazing.
If you could create some sort of invisible wall of force, you would get hit by this. And Illyn throws kind of a rock.
Throws a rock.
Yeah, not like straight, like a lob, like a lob that
Well,
kind
how
of gives
good
some time, right?
How good throwing rocks is
He
Illyn?
rolled. Illyn, give me an attack roll.
All right.
We're gonna
is
do
this dude
opposing
a
rolls.
human?
No, he's a halfling.
Son of a. Okay.
What are you trying to like? Also, are
11
you trying to
total.
hit him?
I'm trying to get him to
11
activate his
total?
invisible shield, so it'll bounce off, and thus implicate him as being able to activate an invisible shield. I'm gonna do this to every suspect.
With an 11, he rolled a 16 before any bonuses, and
Two.
he is a deft chef. So that rock comes and he bats it away like with hardly emotion.
I could find bigger rocks.
This is very rude. I cannot believe this is legal.
But
That was. Thank you for your time. Please leave.
bye, mime. Suspected mime.
Okay,
Not the mine.
goodbye. Please stop subscribing to the Blue Apron
No,
service.
you
Bye,
can't do that.
Mr.
No, that's
Olio.
commercial.
Why
That's
can I not
allowed.
do that? This is advertising.
No,
I am leaving.
that's
So if
If
you
you would
are
like to
kicking me
have-
out for soliciting, here I go. Goodbye. But please come down to my
No,
new
no,
tent. I am
don't
moving
say
across
that.
town.
None of this.
Okay,
None
see
of
you,
this.
Mr. Oligo.
All right.
If you want
What
to,
are yours?
We're
You may
ready for
purchase
the,
an ad
the
like anyone else.
aprons, please. The aprons. We'll take you both at once. It's just easier that way.
I would love to have both of them in the room talking at the
Yes.
same time. That would be excellent.
Yes.
Oh,
Perfect.
you guys. So yeah, you see,
Please.
Oh,
you see
you.
a pair of halflings stand up.
It's a nice
One of
moment.
whom is she's slightly taller than him and has a very proud bearing, and she's wearing decently well kept clothes that no sign of dirt. Like she may have been digging to save their stuff last night, but she got herself cleaned up.
Right.
Her husband looks a little worse for the wear, but he is also. It looks like someone has tried to clean him up. So like his tie is kind of askew, but they both look pretty down. So they come in, and she sighs and leans forward on the table with her hands folded, and says, "Well."
As they come in right before she sits down, Mikhail says, "All right, I'm going to play this one low key. I'm going to sit back. I'm not going to say anything. And then when the time comes, I'm going to really get in there with the bad officer. So, Alo and Illyn, you guys take the lead on this one. I'm going to sit back, take notes, and then when the time is right, I'm just going to jump right in. All right."
Okay.
Okay.
I'm going to open with my best question. And Illyn has a small rock.
Okay.
Let's put that away for a little bit. Just save that. Wait for my signal.
Okay.
Just wait for my signal. Okay.
Okay.
All right. I think I can start on this one.
All right. So on that, yeah, she sits down. They both sit down, and she leans forward with her hands folded and says, "Well."
Okay. Well, we just wanted to ask you a couple of questions about
Sure.
your relationship with Mr. Hogbottom.
Oh, you don't want to hear what happened on that evening, or hear my account of? Okay, fine. Well, Hogbottom and I are reluctant business partners, I guess you could say. I started renting my stall there a few years ago, and business has been good, but every year it's remarkably the stall costs a little bit more, but the amenities don't get better and the support doesn't get better. And he was going to fund my latest venture, but well, I'm not sure where that's going to be now.
Did he insist on putting his fingers in your pies for that venture?
Excuse me?
We've heard he was a pie finger sticker.
Well,
he stuck his maybe whole hand. I mean,
not in front
yes.
not in front of her husband.
He's just nodding like. And she said, "Well, all innuendo aside, officers. Yes, I would say he
all
was
innuendo?
not.
Yeah, that's. I can go get Officer all innuendo.
I don't know who that is.
Just
joking aside, officers. Yes, he was offering me a very bad deal. I shopped around, but he was the only one who could give me the money I needed fast enough to get this product off the ground before somebody beat me to it.
Okay, can you describe your product briefly? I'm just curious. This has nothing to do with the investigation. I'm just curious.
Absolutely. Well, my service would be a weekly subscription service where you would have fresh foods delivered to your home along with instructions on how to combine them into a professional seeming recipe for busy people who don't have time to come to the market and shop.
Oh.
I saw it as my way of getting out of there. If I don't need to have a stall, I could warehouse the goods almost anywhere, and delivering them around the city should be easy.
Oh, yeah.
Why would delivering them be easy? Do you have some sort of magical couriers?
Well, there's always the tweeter system for taking orders, and the taxi cabs work pretty well. I mean, we've seen that the High Guard gets a deal on free cabs, and we figured somebody must be subsidizing those, so we would apply.
Okay, you're very business-minded. Can you tell me more about your business? There was an insurance. What kind of insurance did you have? Did you have real insurance or insurance?
Oh, God. Is this about Hogbottom's plan to protect us with a wizard?
Yes.
Oh, what a mess. I don't even know where to begin with that. Anyone who knows Ichabod should know he can't cast anything that would have protected us from that much falling rock. But I mean, what are we going to do if we don't pay the extra insurance? Then technically our policy lapses, and he's not liable for anything that happens to us. He was a very shrewd businessman.
Well, you can't spell shrewd without rude.
It's spelled a little differently, but
no, it isn't.
Sure, it's pronounced the same.
But yeah, see, that's right.
This is why Illyn's not very difficult to read.
Anyway,
the husband is just like.
So, are you magically or wizardly inclined at all? You or your husband? Do you dabble?
Me, no. My head is one for logistics, not for magic. And the husband, he. But somebody give me a perception roll or an insight check. I'll take any.
Mikhail, bring us home. You're the one who's quietly just standing and checking him out
It's
through the
so
two-dimensional window or whatever.
You could not have picked a worse person to perform this task.
Really?
I will do. It does not matter. I'm going to do insight because it feels like a better chance. I got the high 6. I just told you I was not the right person for this task.
So yeah, they you can tell they seem so bored by that question that they're like, well, yeah, we get asked that all the time, and yeah, it sucks. No magic.
Well, I'm sure
Yeah,
glad
seems
you
on the
don't
up and
have
up to
any
me.
magic, because then you couldn't stop this.
Give me an attack roll. Who are you throwing it at?
The bored dude. We'll do him first. Maybe
right.
The wife will. It may hit her on accident. I got a 10 total.
A 10 total. He takes that rock right on the forehead. And he settles back just like,
Oh no, that one.
She looks at him like, what is wrong with you, officer?
There's going to be paperwork for that one. That is for sure.
Well, he passed the test. Now it's your turn. So if you can just stand still.
Honey, are you what? Are you? Don't throw a rock at me. Do you just have a collection of those?
Illyn does collect the rocks. It's sort of a hobby of theirs. Listen to me.
So she while Mikhail is about to talk, she digs into her jacket and produces a pouch of something and starts like applying this to her husband's forehead. She's like, I'm sorry, sweetie. It's gonna be okay.
What is that? What do you have there? Blue?
It's a collection of fruits that it helps with bruising and it reduces pain. It's look like fruits are kind of my bag, you know. I'm a cook, and as she's working on this, like he seems visibly to feel better. And
now this is the the bruise disappears.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now this is the gentleman who was trying to pull fruits out of a stand that I prevented from pulling fruits out of the stand.
That's right.
Yesterday, correct? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So, did both of you? I'm assuming we're at Mr. Pigbottom's meeting. Is that true? His last meeting.
Oh, you mean before the tower parts fell?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Now, did either of you see who was last out of the meeting?
Well, I was pretty close to the last out because I was the closest to the front, yelling at that idiot. I think the last one out besides me was Ichabod. Or, honey, did you see? And he's back here,
just like rubbing his wound.
Yes. Yeah, I guess it was Ichabod.
All right. And did either of you see when Ichabod left, or if Ichabod or anybody else went back?
Geez, I don't know. We were all pretty occupied with getting our tents packed, and then when the rocks started to fall, oh my God.
Yeah, I know the old story. Rocks fall, everyone dies. It's rough. We've all been there.
You know, words hurt just as much as rocks, officer.
Is that true, Mikhail?
It has been known to be true. And in fact, now is the time to test it. Mikhail slams his hands down on the desk. Wham! Listen up, both of you. I think there's more to this than you know, and there's more that you are telling us. And I assure you that if you are in any way impeding our investigation, you will suffer under the full effects of the law, and we will stop at nothing to uncover the truth. So if there's anything you have not said that you want to say, or anything that you have said that you would like to take this moment to correct, now is the time to do it.
All right, give me an intimidation check on that one.
Yes, please. 19 plus 4. 23.
Oh boy. So she takes that and actually like keeps hands folded and doesn't flinch. But Svengard has become very nervous. You can see that he is kind of sweating bullets and kind of pulling at his shirt, his tie, which he's obviously not accustomed to wearing. And she says, "Listen, officers, we lost a lot out there, and we've got a lot of work to do if we want to keep our livelihoods. Now, if you're done wasting our time, maybe you can talk to the people that really caused this problem, the ones who dropped the bricks on our market from the tower."
Oh yeah, see that's a common misconception. Our jurisdiction starts at about 100 feet and down of elevation. That's about as far as.
If you think you're the only people to suffer under this because of this event, you are wrong. There is a young woman now taking upon the burden of business and loss and independence now because someone wished to eliminate her father for business reasons, for money. This despicable act, this unconscionable thing. This is the kind of thing, this is the kind of act from which there is no turning back. And those caught in the crossfire will find themselves bullied and belittled and put down until they are no longer of use, and then they will be relieved and removed from the equation until all the loose ends are tied up and cut off. if you get my drift. Now, Ms. Blue Apron, I appreciate your cooperation, and if you would kindly step out into the hallway, we just have a couple of papers for Svengart to sign. So if you will kindly step out there. And,
I handle all the paperwork. I'm sure whatever paperwork needs to...
I appreciate there's actually a separate set of paperwork for you out there.
Fine.
Illyn, Bark, perhaps you could escort Miss Blue Apron to our paperwork filing room, the secure one. While we ask a couple of questions.
That's staffed by Officer Aliuendo. And
no stuffing, please. No, leave Ollie out of it.
Anyway,
all right.
right
So she gets up and starts to head out and doesn't even give her husband a second look.
Now,
if
I were in a position to know something of value to a police officer, and to be intimidated into not saying that thing, I would be looking for some sort of guarantee of protection, some sort of immunity, perhaps, to consequences, in order to come forth with this information and share the truth and ensure that justice is done. And if I were someone like that, it would be very simple to acquire said immunity in exchange for testifying against, to telling the truth, and in helping justice to be done. Now, Mr. Apron,
I would like nothing more than to help with your investigation, officers.
I believe that is. I believe you 100%. So, before we let you go, it's occurred to me that you haven't spoken much. Is there anything you'd like to share with us?
And he like kind of fidgets, puts his hands in his pockets, and he's sweating. And give me a perception check.
Oh, please.
Either one of you.
Please, Aloe, take us home. Can you make a perception check for me? Because there's no way I'm getting it.
I'm just gonna look at my paper. Where can I find it?
It'll be in the skills block, sort of to the left, just by your stats. It'll be under the P's for perception.
Okay. Mine says +3.
So
that's better than mine.
D20 and add 3.
Roll my D20. Hold on.
Mikhail has +1, but he has the worst luck at perception, so there's no way. Not taking that chance.
Okay.
But he's staring intently into the eyes
Rolling
of this
to see.
halfling.
Rolling to see what's going on. What is
that? I got 20 +3.
Natural 20.
All right, so we enter bullet time as Aloe is watching this man sweat. There's a bead of sweat that's like super slowly making its way down. His hand tremors as he's shaking or like moving super slowly, and you see him reach into his vest pocket and start to pull out a packet of something and rear back.
Oh no.
So you've got time before he gets to do anything with it. What do you want to do?
Should I use my agility to like grab his hand or something?
That sounds great. Yeah, give me a roll for grabbing his hand.
All right.
And you have advantage because you're just like, phew.
An advantage means you roll twice. So you roll a d20 and then you roll another d20. You take the best of the two.
Okay.
Yep.
And is this going to be an acrobatics check, Marty? Because that's what it sounds like to me.
Okay. So
I think,
okay.
Whatever is best for you.
First, I got a 17, and then I got a 4.
Yeah, 17 is probably going to be your best bet.
Yeah,
it's a good call.
Nice. So with
4.
With the 17, like his hand comes up and he's closing his eyes to get ready to throw this thing down, and suddenly it stops. And there's a little bit of a puff that comes out of this packet. It was clearly meant to like disperse dust everywhere, and he stops and he looks up, and Aloe is just standing over him, and he just collapses, and he appears to have completely given up on life.
Okay.
And he just says,
"Looks like you're the long arm of the law today, Aloe."
Illyn, why are you back here? We're supposed to be. Did you at least lock her in the room like you asked?
Blue Apron is like, who are you talking to?
How did you get?
Am I done with this paperwork yet?
Pay no attention. I'm just a mirror. I'm just a mirror. Don't worry about your wife. She's with all Uendo. He mentioned some things about getting to the bottom of some stuff, straightening something out.
All
It's
right.
fine. It's fine.
So Aloe is holding his hand in the air with the packet, and Svengard is just destroyed.
Okay, and I break his arm just for no reason.
Oh shit!
Brutal.
Give me a what is it? Give me a
Strength?
melee or an unarmed combat attack. It's just a strength roll. Let's see.
Okay. And this is still D20. Okay, hold on.
Yep. +0 for your awesome half-orc strength.
18.
18.
Sneaky.
18?
Criminy.
Holy shit! All
He
right.
has like 2 arms now.
So you snap the shit out of this. Like you feel
God.
you feel it break in 2 places, and he screams. Actually, at that point, we pull away from the room to where everyone else in the lobby, all those people who are waiting, just hear screams, and we cut to his wife, who is signing paperwork and shaking her head at Illyn, and she hears him scream, and her eyes go wide. And we cut to the chief, who's sitting like filing paperwork, and the chief looks up, and we come back to the room, and yeah, he's a wreck. I mean, he's face down, he's halfway passed out.
Illyn catches the whatever the packet, whatever the sachet is, as his arm breaks and he drops it.
You mean Aloe does?
Oh no, I meant
Mikhail.
Mikhail because I
Who
assumed
is
Aloe was
everyone?
holding. I assumed Aloe was holding on to his
Yeah.
arms and his arm ish. Yes, Illyn is of course somewhere else, and Mikhail grabs for the packet, and what he's gonna examine it and find out what it is carefully.
Yeah. So what are you? Let's see. What do you got?
I'm thinking probably Arcana is going to be the thing to
I'm
do.
gonna check Arcana. Okay.
Seems likely. And that is a 16 total.
16 total. So
16 total.
you can tell that it's not actually magical. Like whatever's in here is the components for something. But it doesn't quite seem to be a spell. But it smells very sweet. It smells very alluring, and you think that if you inhale too much of it, you would be pretty susceptible to suggestion.
A love potion?
I have it now.
Ah!
That probably hurts. Yeah, that doesn't sound comfortable. All right, bring in. All right, we need. I have it. We're going to everyone quickly to the chief's office, and Mikhail drags this man by his unbroken arm, and as they pass
Still
by,
just screaming.
oh yeah, for sure. As they pass by the other interrogation room or wherever Illyn has locked up this woman, he grabs Illyn and Bark and Blue, and of course Aloe's come with him, and I drag them all into the chief's office. And say,
Blue immediately starts lacing in and is like, "What did you do to my husband?"
Chief,
No,
I
it's not
thought
the-
he had a
nope.
It
gun.
was just paperwork.
I thought he had a gun. I didn't know.
now is not the time for this.
A gun?
Yeah.
No, this is the part of the investigation where one of us lays out what they think has happened, and then everyone oohs and ahs if it's correct, and we all stare at each other awkwardly if it's not correct. So here's what. And I grab Ichabod as well as we're on our way in.
Okay.
I get
Yeah.
Ichabod. So yes. So here's what happened.
And actually, the chief, before you get started, has like one tentacle as she puts it right up to Mikhail's lips, and she says, I heard that. Everyone heard that. This little wisp of a man was a physical threat to you? I don't think so. Whatever you did to him had better be worth it, because otherwise you're all skating on very thin ice. And then she sits back
you
to
can
listen.
see a little bit of the bluster, a little bit of the confidence has deflated from Mikhail. Yes. So what we are alleging and we are going to charge with is that this man, Ichabod, used powerful magic to prevent Hogbottom from leaving during the disaster, which led directly to Hogbottom's death. But Ichabod is not entirely responsible for this. In fact, I would allege that he is not legally responsible at all. In fact, I put forth to you that this woman and her husband, Blue and Svengard Apron, coerced by pseudo-magical means Ichabod into performing this spell using fermented fruit components, and they did this in order to ensure the death of Hogbottom. And
on what you said, Ichabod starts looking very irritated and starts looking at the aprons and like.
And if it was not Ichabod, then it was definitely his brother. But I think it was Ichabod because, no offense, sir, you look very much like a pushover, and that has been the impression that we have gotten from the other people we have witnessed.
They told me that these were healthy snacks.
They were lying to you the entire time.
Ichabod, think fast. Little rock.
Don't.
Kids. Takes it right in the face, and the chief whacks the shit out of you, Illyn. Like the chief a tentacle comes up and just whips Illyn's foot off the ground, and Illyn is on her ass.
I'm sorry,
Chief.
I'm sorry, Chief. I thought he'd use his magical force wall to stop it. It'd be a traumatic time to dim it. Oh, I'm sorry.
Chief, I think that we are prepared to send these. We are hereby arresting these people. We charge Blue and Svengard with murder. We charge them with alchemical persuasion, and we charge them with full conspiracy to commit murder because there were 3 people involved. And I think that we will have to charge Ichabod with criminal negligence.
I think technically the least thing we could charge him with is being as an implement to murder, but we'd have to.
True. I forgot it's been a while from
that
rule. It has been a while since that rule has been brought up. Yeah, I think actually that is correct. Here it is. Yes, charging Ichabod with magical implementation, which is a weird way to say it. But I think that's going to... Now, I will say that the minimum sentencing for that is mostly community service and a stern talking to. So, shouldn't be a big deal if he is convicted with that. Sorry, Ichabod. So, this is the charging, and now I think we have just a few weeks to wait. So...
Ta-da!
Look, officers, I really hope the jury finds it your way, because what you did here today was a lot of violence to a lot of potentially innocent people, and you did it right in front of your chief. I mean, I heard it, I saw it, and that stuff is not going to fly for long.
Also potentially guilty.
Officer Seda, I don't know how they did things where you come from, but we only hurt the people we know are guilty here. You're all on thin ice. So
crime.
So she shoos you all out of her office, and all the paperwork gets filed. And now it is time to put 90 seconds on the clock. All of you watching at home now live have been pressed into jury duty. Welcome. Hello. We need you to tell us, are these folks guilty or innocent? Do you think that Blue Apron and her husband Svengard Apron are guilty of conspiring to kill Mr. Hogbottom using Ichabod as their implement of murder? And you can drop some guilties, or you can use the yay and the nay emojis that are
yay
in here.
For guilty and nay for innocent, right?
Yeah.
Interestingly,
takes me a second to find them. There we
go. My wife currently is fulfilling her citizen's obligation for jury duty, and it is not as interesting as we make it out to be.
Really?
Yeah, not nearly as much.
Magical medieval society perils every day.
Yeah, the judges don't even like. There's no glowing.
Is there at least a vision of the murder happening? That really helps.
Not even that. It's not even always murder is the thing. Sometimes it's super mundane, like
parking tickets.
Yeah. Like not even sometimes that exciting. Sometimes like civil matters about like who owes who money, and yeah, it's just Lan Arcanym, for all of its flaws, at least jury duty is interesting here.
All right, votes are coming in. Looks like we have two guilties, and one of our own officers has sounded off in the chat.
She's new to Lan Arcanym.
Okay.
No, Aloe, please. It's all right. We have to be quiet during this part where they're deliberating. We did our gaze back in the station when we were.
Yeah, the judge is just like, hey, you back there, everybody quiet while the jury's deliberating.
Be quiet.
All right. Looks like the time has clocked down. I don't see any last second votes, so it looks like a unanimous guilty verdict may have barely, by the skin of our teeth, saved new officer Aloe from harsh reprimanding. Tongue lashing by Officer Ollie Uendo.
Wow.
We should really stop giving Ollie those particular duties because
Ollie is going to have to report to HR again.
Yeah.
So yeah, the verdict is in, and both of the Aprons end up going to prison, and Ichabod receives the stern talking to and community service as promised. And thankfully, due to some quirk of the laws of Lan Arcanym, probably put into place by the Inquisition, if you are found guilty in a court of law, you are not allowed to bring charges of assault by an officer in the course of your investigation and arrest. Now, that doesn't mean that what happened was popular. The public was pretty, like the jury kind of came out shaking their heads, even though they agreed they were guilty.
Yeah, there were a lot of witnesses to that, or at least like audio witnesses to that are missing.
Yeah. Can I get a sense of where the scales of justice are at?
Yeah, thanks to a rapid fire slew of mad successes by Clara, we've gone up to 4 failures and 8 successes.
Nice.
Yep.
All right. So this is after the case. We find Aloe walking into the chief's office, and the chief is nowhere to be found. There's a note on her desk that says, "Meet me in the training room." And so Aloe, you head down there, and you find instead of the sort of wily armed tentacled creature. You find the chief in her normal form, which is sort of a tall centaur. She stands a little bit taller than you, and she's dressed for training, so she's wearing sort of like a loose training outfit. And she says, "You did some good work out there, Seda, but you also went way too far. I know that you've got a checkered past, and I want you to know that I don't care about that. I care about good police work. Now, if you've got some aggression, let's get it out in here." And she takes a fighting stance and offers to spar with you.
Okay.
And so we leave.
No, I'm just
Yeah, right. Yeah, right. No, we're gonna have to tune in next week for that one. Yeah. So
Poor
so
octopus,
the
like,
I know. You can't do it. That's the trick with the chief. So we do fade out of there. We pull out of the training room, and the camera pulls out of the station across the square, where we see once again Skip Skyseeker now Sayer 5 back with another update on the wizard battle taking place high above the Everspire. Sources within the mayor's office are saying that what they initially called a battle over internal politics is actually a defensive action to repel an invading force that is attacking the Everspire directly. Unprecedented. Multiple seers across the city have reported seeing a great dragon, golden scales red with blood, tearing the very stone from the spire's walls. The dragon's acolytes, garbed in red sashes, are herding bureaucrats into conference rooms as hostages. The magistration, may they be praised, has yet to make an official statement. I'm Skip Skyseeker, now Sayer 5. Check in with me for updates. And that's going to do it for this week.
Okay.
Thank you, everybody, for tuning in to Lawful and Orderly. Let's see. Push all the buttons. We've got like buttons, subscribe buttons.
Yep.
Everybody
follow.
also,
That's good.
Yeah. Give us a follow. You can also follow us. We're all individual people with our own lives and projects. So hit us up on Twitter and follow us there as well.
tell your
And
Send us your tweeter birds.
Yeah, send us them tweets. Those birds need exercise. They keep them cooped up if they're not busy.
They need love.
And until next time, we'll see you again back here. Same RPG time, same RPG Academy.
Back.
Thanks for watching.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
I don't have a funny thing to say. Bye.
Aw.